Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you back to the Blue Collar Hustle. We are going to keep it.
You hold on.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no,
Oh
no,
no.
no.
Oh,
Like
I'm
that's
sorry.
actually the
I'm
point of
sorry.
today. Today, we always have high energy. We're always super positive, but today we're keeping it. We're keeping it a nice and soft, nice and suave, right? Easy. We got Turkey Day
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, so we got to prepare ourselves. So we decided to come in today and just drop a little bit of a quick Q&A. You know, the rookie had a couple little questions on his mind. We weren't going to really do something about it, but I said, you know what? New segment to the old Blue Collar Hustle, a little Q&A, our version of a fireside, dare I say. So stay tuned, watch along. We got a couple questions. Maybe they involve you, maybe they don't. Maybe you drop your own. Love to hear from you.
Can I be a successful business owner not being able to wake up early? Like I'm not a morning person. Can I be successful not being
100% you can. So there's only two reasons why you're not a morning person. Either you were up too late or you're not motivated enough inside yourself about what it is that you're doing, in my opinion.
No, I love what I love what I do. I do media and stuff, but I am up late.
Okay, so I thoroughly believe in sleep as a necessity to be able to be successful for the day. Do you need to sleep like 10, 12 hours? No, but I definitely daily a good solid 6 to 7 should
No.
be required.
Okay, but
So if you're going to sleep at 4, what's that? What's that bring you all the way to?
10, 11?
Yeah, and then that's okay. But if you had engagements that you needed to get to at 7 and you fucked them up because you didn't wake up,
But okay, but then jumping on the let's say roofing industry. Can you do that being like that? Like can you be successful waking
No.
up late?
blue collars early starters. We're the roosters of the day. Early. Now, mind you, I don't do early as much anymore because I'm not in the crews. But the crews are out there hitting the streets at anywhere between 5:30 and 6:30, depending on the season.
And at the beginning of your roofing career, was it like that?
Oh yeah, my dad was dragging me. You know, when I was younger, dragging me out, banging on the door 4:45. If I was not in the truck by 5:30 to get to the shop by 6:30, 1 hour drive, you were beat. No worky today. No
But-
money today.
Okay, but in general, so then you think, let's say, those successful people that, let's say, what would you say is a successful person? Like somebody with money, or just what's your definition of
that's a whole
success?
different topic, right? That's a whole different
I'm
topic.
not. I'm asking for a
If
reason.
we're talking about financial success, then yes, it's going to be a measurement of your ability to buy things, have some money in the bank off the back of whatever it is that you're doing, right? That's a form of success. It's a financial success. Some other might be a lifestyle success where you've set yourself up so much so that you're able to relax, take the kids to school in the morning, have lunch with the missus, be home for dinner while maintaining a business that you've built up. But that's like you got to go through a bunch of up and downs to be able to get to that point. It's never going to happen overnight, but that's a different version of success. That's freeing up your time for success, right? I think there's another point of success of like what's happening with others. How well are your team members, like other people that you're working with? Maybe my form of success is how well I just saw Joey over here. He started with me a few years ago. He grew. Now he's a foreman. He grew. Now his paychecks are bigger. He bought his first home. He's having his first kid. Maybe that's some form of success.
Okay.
Building a team and a culture to, win.
I got you. What do you think? This is another question I had in my mind earlier. What do you think about? So, like, I know a roofing company that their selling process is online. So, like, they don't meet in person with the client. Everything they do, of course, they probably do a walk
Yeah.
around, to know everything. But the first call is through Zoom. The closing call is through Zoom. Everything is through Zoom. Like he does it through Zoom. What do you think about that? Being that in your past, probably
Yeah, that was
that was
frowned upon. Yeah,
Yeah, like
But I think it's coming. I think the need for customers to know how much they're going to spend immediately is reversing the sales game a little bit for some, especially like old school mentality like myself. Like I want to be able to sit down, go over with you, vet you out. Are you good for me? Am I a good fit for you? That takes time. What's happening now is people want to, how much is it? And then back into the value of the company. So like on the on the websites, they're putting up like the roof calculator, for instance, for roofing. This is how much the square footage of you plug it in yourself, and it kicks you out a number based on numbers I put into it.
Like dealerships, you go like, you go to BMW.com, let's say, and you go, I want this car. It'll tell you like, $699 a month estimate, blah blah blah, get it today. But that's not a real number. That's a fake number.
It's not a fake number. It's a number to start the conversation. So if that number landed inside where your mind was feeling like it was, the two things are going to happen. That seems fair. Let's take the next step. Or the number comes up so high, no thank you.
That you don't even want to consider.
I'm not even, no thank you. That is not I don't have it. It's not where I am going to go, blah, blah, blah.
Does that happen in the roofing industry where you guys give a standard price, but then you guys go to the actual property or see the actual roof and it's like, this is not going to be this much. It's going to be this much. And then the client is like, but you told me this price, blah, blah. Have you had any experience like that? So
that's my only hesitation when not doing it myself for my business, putting that number out there, because it's really hard for people to see a number and then have it change. You know, why is this more now? Why is it less now? What's going on? What am I not getting? What did you not include in the, online? This is supposed to be right. So you're going to run into that.
Have you had any like crazy experience like that where like
I don't even do it yet, so I haven't even had that happen. I've had stories from other companies that have said that happen, and exactly what I'm saying is sitting poorly in the customer's mind. Right? Well, their advertisement said a roof for $6,999, and then when they came here, it was $12,000, and I felt like they were deceiving me. Exactly, right? So like some people, you can't put out these unrealistic numbers. The small print says $69.99 for any houses under 400 square feet, like some tiny little version of a house. They don't even read it. But for me, no, I have not had it yet. But it's coming. We all that aren't really using it well have to get used to it, have to hone it a little bit. Because like myself, I'm a little nervous of it sometimes.
Okay, educate the homeowner. Like, if you're a homeowner and you're watching this, by the way, thank you for watching this. Subscribe, like, and follow along, because this is a podcast that we all grow. Me as a I don't know anything about roofing. Like I'm learning now.
Blue collar stuff in general.
In general, yeah. But in this case, I'm talking to a roofer, which is Mr. CEO of Simpson Roofing, and the Blue Collar Hustle. So if I'm a homeowner and ask you for estimate on a roof, what would be the key points to change the initial price of the project?
Depending on how you have it set up on your website, wherever the person is actually plugging the numbers in, it might be the style of shingle. Maybe I want a little bit of a better one. Maybe I want a different manufacturer.
So from the beginning is the
it's going to be a cookie cutter template. It's going to be GAF Timberline shingles with baseline accessories.
So the basic one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I want designer shingles. That'll change the price. Maybe I want a full system warranty. That'll change the price. Maybe I want gutters included. That'll change the price. Other things. And sometimes, people are pretty cool with understanding and knowing that, but others, this is the roof. Isn't that part of my roof? Well, stuff like skylights. It's in the roof, but it's not included unless we have to add it in. Masonry
you go on the roof and then you see the skylight and they that wasn't included. No, it's not.
No, exactly. So it's just a, in my opinion, I think the roof calculator or something like that on people's websites is a conversation starter. Because maybe they get a great price and it's super cheap compared to what they had in their mind, and their first phone call to that client or that contractor is poor, bad. They don't like it. Oh, you're out.
Yeah.
So it's just a conversation starter for now.
So I have another question. I think I'm like jumping from like topic to topic, because I started as a young entrepreneur asking a question about waking up early, and now I'm all the way in pricing in the roofing industry. But it's just things that I have in my mind. So this episode is gonna be like rapid fire.
This is a rapid fire Q&A.
Yeah, rapid fire Q&A, something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
here in your office, right in front of you, you have a huge building that they doing. But you told me you're not doing the roof for them.
I know that's soured me.
How that feels, like, even as a, you don't have to be a roofer, but if you're a mechanic and then in front of your mechanic shop in the street, you just see a guy fixing a car, like, yo, I'm here. How you feel about that?
Well, there's two sides of it. Number one, I feel
As a business owner, like
Yeah.
from the business type of view.
I was gonna say as a side, two sides of it. One is I'm competitive. I want to win them all. Mm-hmm. But then when I dove into that specific project and I saw the things other than the scope of work to put the roof on, the other elements involving that general contractor, their previous roofers, their previous projects, all those things. I picked up and I heard a couple of things, and I'm not so sad that I'm not doing that job anymore. Right?
Oh.
There's certain things that I'm like,
Like
that
what?
one's
Like what?
probably best to let go.
Can you talk about it? When is best to let go a job?
So a couple of flags for me when I'm doing well, it's, again, before I even say that,
Actually, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase the question, because this could be like the title of the video.
ooh, I like
Red flags for you not to take a job. Like, what are some red flags that will tell you, now I don't want this
that's
job,
no.
even if it's big money?
Yes.
But you not just.
I was like, so my immediate red flag is if I don't know them, right? Like if they're not from the area, out of staters, somebody that doesn't have a good, solid reputation in our market already. It's a little bit of a red flag. Not a huge red flag, but a little one.
You put
Because-
it.
A little one. Another a bigger red flag is when there were known problems on previous jobs that were directly related to the way all the tradesmen on the job work. As an example, if you have a roofer putting a roof on that's sound, and let's just say the plumbing company didn't have good communication with the roofers, and they didn't open the drains, and it rains, and all the water pours inside because they didn't open the drains up. Something silly like that, right? Where if I started to see it more and more, or ventilation questions, like mechanical guys didn't put proper air ventilation in dead air spaces, and the roof started to lift because of negative pressure, whatever, weird things like that. Like if I see it like often, and then they kind of get a little industry tales about them, and well, you got to watch. Sometimes they don't play well in the sandbox with all the contractors. Biggest red flag for me, because that affects the way you're able to perform your job. And if you don't perform your job as well as it should and could be, that affects your money, and then the money in those jobs just gets stuck.
No, and that affects your reputation.
Yes.
So like,
Yes.
they're gonna talk about the problem that they had before you came in. They're gonna talk about, oh, nah, he did a terrible job.
Yeah. I would love to be. It was the same thing. There's always three sides to every story: his, mine, and the truth.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah. So the version of his truth and my truth are going to be different.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and those, when I see those stories pop up, I don't want to. Those.
Have you had an experience like that where like you're doing a job and something bad happens, but it wasn't you, but then the client might think it was you, or the other person that did it blamed you for it?
A little bit. I mean, it happens on some version, some scale on every project that's new construction that's got all these new parts moving around. Renovations, not as much because you're already working with a skeleton of something. But new construction is more prone, in my opinion, because you are working with all new things, new people, taking a design from concept to reality. Oftentimes there's misses. This guy drew it at this level, like the floor, let's say, and I'm doing a terrace on the roof, and the floor is the same height as the terrace that's insulated. I know what I said just there didn't mean anything to you, but as a roofer, I immediately heard that means it's going to be a different height. So what are your doors
It's not
at?
gonna be level.
Yeah, so where are your doors? If your doors are not taller than the installation's thickness, that means your doors are going to be buried within the roof. And it's happened more often than none. And then I got contractors raising all the doors. And then what happens when you raise the doors? Now your interior floor is not flush with the door line. Homeowners might not like that. Well, how, you know what I mean? Like dumb, silly things like that. It happens often.
Yeah,
Happens often.
Basically, work smart, Don't be dumb.
Well, it's to the point of like what would be a red flag for working together. That's the thing. Sometimes GCs or any person or developer is going to look at their budget first, and sometimes that's obviously a concern. But inside that budget might be contractors that are not fully versed at being able to know a little bit about the other trades. Hey, if I'm just a roofer putting a roof on, I'm going to slap that roof on. I'm not even going to tell you about your door heights.
Yeah.
It's your problem.
Yeah.
But we're not. We're versed in a little bit of, hey, you might want to check your door heights. You might want to check your equipment heights for stuff on the roof.
And explain, so like,
And tell
because
them.
of this, and that.
Yeah. Drainage all the time is a problem. They'll put shower or floor drains inside of a roof system because it's on a terrace. Oh, I thought it was a terrace, not a roof. It's still a roof. Still needs a certain style of clamping. I know this. If I didn't tell you and you didn't know this, we're just going to put it on exactly how it's drawn. It's going to leak and fail. And then you're yelling at me. I'm like, this is your architect. That's what he draw. What do you want me to do? That's not my job to tell you how to tell him to build it, right?
Yeah.
Some people are like that.
Yeah.
I like to share the experiences.
The homeowner, like they might, they don't know. It's more of like, whoever's doing it, do your job correctly. And if you see something wrong,
Homeowner's entirely different conversation. So in the world of GC and commercial work, a lot of times the contractors are working on a set of instructions, plans, directions from others. So we're not always going to be the one that's guiding the design, right? We're just there to put on what
follow
you drew.
directions.
We're just there to follow the direction, put on what you do. We'll chime up if it's like something crazy. I believe the opposite is in the residential world. In the residential world, we have to be the educators. We have to tell them, hey, this is how this is going to go down right now. I recommend you remove this as an example on siding. So many people put the roof on and not take the siding apart to get proper flashing height. I just said something technical. Maybe you didn't even know it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if
I don't know shit what you're saying.
Exactly. So I'm supposed to give you all the information to put a sound roof system on, right? Because there's nobody else. It's just me.
Yeah.
So,
You're the one that gotta like.
So it's
teach me.
Yeah, it's a little the opposite.
Because I'm not gonna tell you, oh, do this, because I don't know.
Exactly.
Like if you were doing that in my house and I see the roof that is cute, I'm not complaining until I see a leak or something that affects my living space.
That's why the residential market, I believe, has more issue in it with trust of a contractor than in the commercial world. Commercial world's got a couple people in place that might know what they're doing, right? Like,
and they making sure that everything is
a project manager that knows, a contractor that knows. So between those three minds, they're going to put together a decent project. You hope, but in the residential world,
you hope,
it's an uneducated construction mind. 9 times out of 10 to a contractor. You have to have that trust with them that you're going to provide the right thing. I might over talk sometimes in details, maybe because I'm not a too salesy person. I'm more of a educate on what you're doing.
If you're listening to this and you think he's talking a lot, be patient. It's just he loves this topic,
Yeah, roofing gets me excited.
But I have another question for you, and I want you to be honest. And I think if you're listening, I want you, like, if you're a blue collar hustler or whatever you do, and let's say a business owner, I want you to actually, like, if you're listening to this, think about it and answer yourself. But I want you to answer in the roofing industry.
I like this.
Thus, so like, do you guys pay more attention to those jobs that have higher budget than the ones that are, like, if there's two houses, they getting the same job done, but then there's one that is paying more than the other one? Are you guys picking one over another? Yes.
Yes.
Why?
But like that wasn't the answer that somebody would want to hear, right? Because that's like stereotypical. Oh, the roofer's going to go, or the contractor's going to go to the higher paying job and he's going to leave me abandoned.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I said yes to get you a little
now
excited.
You're fixing it.
I get you. Yeah, I said yes to get you excited.
He said yes for the views, for the clip.
I said yes to get you excited. But the version of it is, in the yes part is yes. You have to keep in mind a lot of these contractors, they are running a business. So if there is a ability to have a better revenue stream for a certain project, You know, who wouldn't? It's how they leave and how they schedule them, where the trust is broken or the schedules are broken, whichever have you. I don't believe in that. I don't believe you should just up and leave somebody. That's terrible. That's what gives the contracting and blue collar trades the still bad name. Oh, he's only going to do half the job, get his deposit, leave, go to another one. That's to be honest, to me, that's not even. You're not even a business yet if that's what you have to do, right? Honestly, you're maybe a handyman.
You're just collecting.
You're just, you got a chuck in a truck, val in a van kind of deal. But an actual business that has a reputation to maintain, has other crews in place, has other project managers in place, has a team. You're not gonna feel that. You're not gonna know. Yes, they might have another job. Happens to me. We'll land a score of a commercial sized job while I have a slew of residentials to do. I'm still doing these on schedule, on time. We just have enough people to be able to go and do both simultaneously. But I will. Some resources will be going over here. That
basically your handyman is going to the low budget one, and then your full time guy is going to the other one.
So in some companies, yes. Mine particularly, we have complete division. So our commercial team is.
So we don't do this in Simpson Roofing, okay?
Yeah.
We don't do this.
I was gonna say. So in ours, we're fortunate enough to have a commercial division of people that are all flat roofing guys, sheet metal guys, and then you have a whole nother division that's handling some shingle applications and siding and things like that. So because we were fortunate enough to grow and have that, we don't have the problem that you're talking about. So.
Which is a common problem.
It is. It's out
even
there.
in all types of business. Like
if you don't communicate it well, you're gonna look like shit to the homeowner when you leave them.
I mean, hey, I do videos. If there is let's say I'm doing a video that is higher budget than another one, unfortunately, I'm prioritizing the one we
But I will
higher
tell you
budget.
this. But I'll tell you this to the point of the handyman and chuck in a truck mentality. If you want yourself if you see a future for yourself to be a bigger entity, a more, I don't want to say reputable, but just for lack of better terms, a more reputable firm rather than an individual, that habit's going to have to change, or the way you communicated to Sally that you were doing her video shoot for, her Etsy project versus, a major music video shoot for a private label company or something like that. Like those numbers are different. But if you communicate to Sally, who's in a group of 5,000 moms that Etsy, you know what I mean? Like you could kill that line of potential for the one-off. That's what you don't want to do. You want to be able to leave Sally knowing that I'll be right back. Here's when I'm coming back. I need 48 hours, 72 hours, and I'm coming back. If she knows that there's a time that you're returning, not open-ended, you'll still be able to, have the duality.
And it all comes down to like the communication and scheduling. Because if there's good communication and scheduling, I think you should be able to do both. You kill, one bird and then you go kill the other one. Like,
I think it's to allow creating an experience for the customer to not know or feel that the reason you left was for a higher profile job. They should never feel that. They shouldn't know that. You should be able to communicate as such. Like they don't even need to know that you just went to a higher paying music video. You just simply say, Sally, we have a setup for Monday and Tuesday. You got to know this already. Sally, we're set up for Monday and Tuesday. We're going to do as much as we can for your first phase. And then on Friday and Saturday, we will return, which that just told them the schedule. That didn't tell them that you're leaving for, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to do your other thing.
Yeah.
Communication, baby. Communication.
Well...
And a little bit of tweaking of words.
Yep. Yeah, sounding more professional, let's say.
Yeah.
And not tell him that, yo, fuck yourself, I'm going to go get the bigger bread.
You ever come across in that way, then you'll,
would not stand in business for long.
Yeah.
Well, that was it for my questions. I have more questions, but they will be in part 2 because if I say it now, then I feel like we'll be all over the place.
Yeah, no, this is just good Q&A. Every once in a while, we're going to do this. We're going to do some quick Q&As, stuff that's popping on our mind when we're here. It's wintertime, too. It's a little off-season, so we're
Q&A of from the rookie's head, because I didn't have this written down. I literally told him, sit down and I'm asking you a question. And I had that first question.
Yeah, but
that's
how we roll. That's how we're able to go.
Yeah. Tell your people to subscribe, like.
Tell your people to talk to my people, and we'll keep on these Q&As.
Yeah. So subscribe, like.
Or even better,
Yeah.
I would love to see Q&As from anybody that's watching. I don't care if it's the one person out there or 100 or 1,000. Just maybe drop a little question in one of the videos,
Oh,
and we'll
okay.
answer it.
We'll answer if you have
Hey,
any
drop
questions.
your handle, and we might answer it live on Insta or YouTube or something. You know,
Yep.
we start doing that.
If you have any questions about any roofing,
No. I think
In general?
blue collar hustle questions. You know, young entrepreneurs. Like I said, I think I really want to be an accessible person for somebody that's starting out, somebody that maybe is going through a little beginnings path that is got some good motivation, some good passion, but maybe getting overwhelmed by the little bumps in the road that are stopping them. I like that kind of a conversation. Also sharing my experiences in my individual trade for somebody that's maybe got another business that they just want to open up a different branch, like commercial roofing or something. I liked all those. I like to be able to be accessible.
so drop your comments, questions, concern about anything in general. If you're having a kid, drop your question because he'll answer. He's
Yeah.
great with those too.
I love that.
Yeah, he's great at making kids. He got like 70 of them.
No.
Subscribe, like. Thank you
No.
for watching.
No. God, son of a... Cheers, people.